Ed Stafford's recipe is finally getting an update. Is catching fish so easy these days? You can throw it around and eat it whole. Look at this white tender, who see love. And there's plenty of fruit to eat. Ed Stafford's favorite nut is the dung nut. It really smells like nature. This time, Ed Stafford came to Namibia for a holiday. We saw crocodiles on the road in the beginning. I really want to be the world's first wild mouth. Ed Stafford sees this delicious. The saliva is almost left behind. Besides crocodiles, there are many other animals that can fight hand to hand. Ed Stafford also talked to local natives. The best thing here is catfish. It's easy to run into hippos. I want to fill my stomach here. Ed Stafford felt as easy as going to buffet. There's so much food in the water. He began to look forward to the situation on land. Packed only the bare necessities. It's not hard to spend 10 days in the wilderness. You'll need some luck if you want to live well. Ed Stafford wants to show you. Even if there's nothing, close to your hands and head, and a good life in the wild. Now the best route is to follow the river, so you don't have to worry about water. It also has access to areas where food is plentiful. It would be nice to have a little fish. A hippopotamus can often be seen strolling across the street. Ed Stafford is curious too. What does hippo taste like? It's a little hard to do with your hands. Better be able to keep your weapon on the line. Old rule, drone first. Know the enemy's position in advance and be prepared. There's a herd of hippos right up ahead. I'm sure I'll get crushed if I just walk there. The best thing is to avoid them. Hippos kill more people than any other carnivore. So go out into the wild. It's also a good idea to bring a drone. It looks like it's getting dark soon. Ed Stafford needs to find a place to set up camp. There was still a lot of elephant dung on the road. The smell, the feel. You don't have to taste it to know. If we're lucky, we'll find some nuts. These are perfect for a snack. Too bad the teeth won't open. It's going to take some tools. But there's not much time left for Ed Stafford to get on the road. Animals become extremely active at night. Hugging your hands is hard to get a good night's sleep. If you don't have time to build a shelter like Ed Stafford, you can climb up a tree and rest. But beware of lions and the like who climb trees. Secure location is very important, even though there are crocodiles in the water. But Ed Stafford isn't worried. He didn't believe the crocodile would dare come here. It's just that the water isn't filtered. Or are you afraid you might infect your body with something? There's no chance to improve your life today. There's snakes sitting in the trees. It's not easy finding a place to sleep. Too bad we don't have time to make a fire. Or we're gonna eat the whole roast tonight. Ed Stafford had to look somewhere else. This is the only tree I've been around. It feels a little high after you climb it. This is the end of a fall. Ed Stafford could only restrain himself with a belt. More or less can improve the safety. Cheap stuff bought online. I wonder how the quality is. Ed Stafford, it's cash back on good reviews. I hope I don't betray my trust. The next day came without a hitch. I woke up to the sound of elephants. Occasionally a lion's roar came. Made me want to scream. It's a little safer up in the trees, though. But the thought of an animal passing by down there. I dare not sleep too soundly. Or, do you want to see what's in the neighborhood? An elephant herd came by last night and left a baby. I'm glad I didn't go near his tree. There are too many animals here. It's like being in a zoo. As I was talking, I met the elephants. Now is not the time to mess with them, especially with a baby elephant in there. If an elephant stares down at you, then it could be an attack. The best thing is to do nothing. Just wait till they're out of here. Ed Stafford misses his children a little. I still don't spend enough time with my family. When this challenge is over, it's going to take some time to relax. The elephants knocked down many trees in their path, just enough to be collected and used. Build a small platform in the tree while we're still strong. Do as much work as you can to make things easier back there. Make sure it's tied tight. No one wants to fall apart in the middle of their sleep. Ed Stafford found rocks on the ground. This is just a place to crack a nut. I had a good day today. Not only will the shelter be set up and crack open nuts to fill your stomach, I believe that the small life will be better and better. Let's see if there's any more surprises in the dung. Collect as many as you can. No one will refuse this delicacy. Less than an hour before dark. Ed Stafford needs to focus on building a shelter, even if you don't have any tools. I could do that with brute force. If you just keep going up there, it won't be done before dark. Ed Stafford just tied it up. All it takes is a miracle from Mighty. I'm afraid it'll break in the middle. What Ed Stafford had feared had happened. The rope is weaker than I thought. Looks like we're gonna have to work our way up. It takes more energy than you thought. After a lot of effort, it looks like something. At least I don't have to strap myself in tonight. It's only the next day. The body is exhausted. You can see what's going on up there. After all that hard work, it's time to replenish. Crack the nuts open one by one. It tastes pretty good. The only problem is that it rains at night. Ed Stafford doesn't have a roof to keep out the rain. It's all about physical toughness. The tree is quite tall. I don't know if I got hit by lightning. Ed Stafford stayed up all night. I barely made it to dawn. Mental state is not very good. The lower part of my body is still wet. If it wasn't for reducing the post-audit work, Ed Stafford wants to take it all off. Now, it's the rainy season, and it's going to be more frequent. The roof has to be added anyway, okay. Get some food before you go to work. The most commonly available nearby. It's probably water lilies by the river. If not now, there is no knife. Ed Stafford really wants to catch the alligator pond. The stomach was already rumbling with hunger. It's better to eat the water lilies first. We are not advised to be so reckless as him. It's still pretty dangerous by the water. I don't know if you've ever eaten water lilies. White roots are the favorite of baboons. Ed Stafford thinks it's like a bean sprout. It doesn't taste very good. It's better if it's crunchy. Ed Stafford didn't clean it. You can still smell the stinky mud. Ed Stafford suddenly picked up a more disgusting smell. Man, who would have thought this would happen? The water was soaked with dead hippos. It's obviously been gutted by crocodiles. Next door is where you drink your own water. Whether it's uncomfortable or not, we'll have to do a thorough examination when we get back. Although the crocodiles here are fed. But Ed Stafford didn't really want to get in the water either. If I had a knife in my hand, maybe we can get a hippo skin. Let's get the roof built first. There's a lot of reeds around here that just might be useful. Ed Stafford can just pick up a tree trunk, keep swinging to kill the roots. Trying to get the roof up, that's a lot of material. This is all I got after a busy day. It took more time and energy than I thought. Fortunately, it wasn't too far from the camp. I can barely accept it. Suddenly found new footprints on the ground. If Ed Stafford is right, it must have been a lion stepping out. He was eager to follow. Don't know what surprises are waiting for you. Followed a short walk. Sure enough, there was prey hanging from the tree. Looks like it's been a while. You don't have to climb up and take it down. It's a little close to the camp. That cabin's not going to stand a beating. Don't go all this way. The hippo next door keeps staring over here. Ed Stafford wanted to go over there and teach him a lesson. The roof didn't go up very fast. It's mostly a drag on the material. If it's on the ground, I would have been in bed already. Ed Stafford has succeeded in bringing the reeds up. Now we just need to lay it out. There are a lot of surprises in a field challenge. Want to get things done anyway. Make sure you stay calm and don't panic. Ed Stafford found it really challenging to start from scratch. It's especially rewarding when it's done. I'm just about to do it now. Life was not easy. We'll have to figure out how to make a fire and get food later. The shelter is almost done here. Whether we can live a good life depends on tomorrow. Day 4 of the challenge. I heard a lot of baboons last night, very close to the shelter. Ed Stafford was walking around the neighborhood. I suddenly noticed a monitor lizard in the tree. It's a bad thing to accidentally get bitten. Fortunately, the tree is not very tall. Ed Stafford just sticks his stick through it. It went a lot better than I thought. Go straight after him. Too bad it was just a little bit off. If I could have caught him, you can recover a lot of energy. You can't put too much effort into a monitor lizard. The energy needs to be distributed. Ed Stafford thinks it should be a spear. Maybe we can string it up in the tree. I'm just gonna have to refill it on the hour. Whenever Ed Stafford wants to go somewhere else, we'll send a drone to explore the road. See where it's easier to get food. As you can see, there's plenty to eat. I made Ed Stafford cry. The biggest fear is running into elephants. It can be really deadly to a tree house. A tree would be gone if you hit it. It doesn't look good in the distance. If we can't start a fire now, not when it rains, need to find some tinder to light up. Luckily, it's dry all around. It's a lot easier to start a fire. Ed Stafford didn't take much time. It takes a while to light the fire. Now you can feel the rain falling. We need to move fast to get these things done. To make sure the tree house doesn't catch fire, we can get some dirt by the river, take it back to the tree house, and lay it flat. Then you can bring the fire up. It used to be a simple thing. I didn't expect any surprises. Luckily, there were no blisters. Ed Stafford was set up well before the storm. The mood is so good. I feel like this challenge is going to be very comfortable. Ed Stafford actually wanted to be in finance, but I'm not cut out for it. After choosing wilderness survival, that's the smoother it gets. Ed Stafford felt he was born to starve. I don't recommend building like him. Don't look easy. It still takes a little skill to pull it off. There are still nuts to eat, although that would have been a great challenge. But this is not what I want. He's going to the river tomorrow to fish and eat. I wonder if Ed Stafford was talking about crocodiles. Soon the 5th day came. It's not a very comfortable place to sleep. There's smoke in my eyes all the time. Clean up and start today's challenge. What kind of fish are there in the river? I'm sure it'll fill you up. This corner is perfect for a cup. We could put some water in the tree house for the night. Ed Stafford also found the right material for the weapon nearby. It's just the right bifurcation. How can I fix it if I don't have to? We just need to put some sticks in place. Soon the harpoon was mostly done. Now we just need to harden the tip. It will become sharper when polished. Ed Stafford thought it was enough to pierce the fish. It's up to the lucky fish to experience it. You try to throw a few rounds into the water. It feels very good. It is afraid that the thrust is not enough to cause too low lethality. And the bifurcation gap is too big. It needs to close a little bit more to make sure it doesn't break. I thought we were going to eat nuts again today. I didn't expect to find an orange. They fall off as soon as they mature. A lot of animals eat it. Ed Stafford is really cheap. This one called monkey orange is very different. It looks like jelly inside. The amount of sugar is also very excessive. Perfect for wilderness survival when you're hungry. It restores a lot of energy. That goes with the fish. It's starting to make my mouth water. Ed Stafford is in a great mood. Tree houses have their limitations though, but it looks good now. You don't have to worry about animals stepping on you. Plus a flame to keep you warm. The whole person, that is a lot easier. If you can make sure the food is stable. I would have liked to have come on vacation like this. Day 6 of the challenge. This side of the river is really rich. I'm afraid of being suddenly attacked by a crocodile. Just going down to catch some fish. I didn't expect it to rain. Can only go back to strengthen the harpoon. The front end is reinforced. And a booster at the end. No feathers can be used with vines. Looks like it's a little sloppy, but the effect is fine. Ed Stafford is very confident that he will catch the fish. Head to the shallow and immediately to catch the fish. There's less chance of alligators here. It's not that I'm afraid to fight an alligator. I just want to eat some fish today. It's easier to find fish here, though. But it's not easy to get a fork in the middle. Just keep trying to stick it in the water. Ed Stafford thinks he has no problem with his skills. There must be something wrong with this harpoon. See if you can gather the fish together, so you get a better hit rate. Ideas are good, but there was no way to get fish to eat. Ed Stafford just wants to work on his spearfish skills. Otherwise, we'd be fishing in another area. The body is getting weaker day by day. It's time to go home and get some rest. Found giraffes feeding there. I don't really want to disturb them. I just don't have the energy to make the detour home. Maybe it's the smell. He was driven away before he could take a few steps. The challenge is on its 7th day. Ed Stafford wasn't exactly comfortable. I haven't had a good meal yet. That's not what I thought at first. Plus, it's been raining lately. The animals in the water become more active. There's no way Ed Stafford can beat 100. He thought of a more convenient way to drink water. That is the use of sheep horns to draw water. Then you can get water from the treehouse. Ed Stafford doesn't have to lie on his stomach in the river every time he gets thirsty. It feels so much better. Drinking that was very satisfying. It is estimated that 2 or 3 times a day should be enough. Life up there is getting better and better. Ed Stafford thinks the rope is too important. You can save yourself a lot of effort. There's a lack of food right now. We don't know if we'll get food until the challenge is over. To make the harpoon easier to use, Ed Stafford is going to build a projectile. In this way, both lethality and accuracy are guaranteed. It would be more appropriate to bend the branch a little. Like this is pretty awesome. A little bit of work is all it takes. Just point the tip at the tail, and then you can throw it out. Ed Stafford is very happy with that. Gave it a little try. It worked much better than expected. I was hoping to catch some fish before it got dark. But there are a lot of crocodiles roaming in the water, and they're all heading towards Ed Stafford. You don't usually get this many. I don't know if there's any fish left in the water. If it wasn't for the fear of eating too much crocodile meat, Ed Stafford would love to grab it. The challenge continued on the 8th day, although now the body can successfully complete the challenge. But Ed Stafford wasn't happy at all. He wants to eat a lot of meat. Life now is just living. It takes extra effort to be comfortable. Nearby baboons can be seen in action. Ed Stafford always thought they would survive. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with humans. He needs gas, food, and a good life. Even if it's just for one day. Ed Stafford had been waiting by the river for an hour. No crocodiles were seen gathering. He's going to build a dam, so the fish will gather together. There must have been a fish when he harpooned. The soil is very easy to dig. I just put it in a pile. Now Ed Stafford can drive the fish over there. All I did was scare a fish. Man, you can hit the fish like that. There's something in this thrower. Ed Stafford's got a good catch. I've never heard a laugh before. It turns out that failure is not terrible, only if it ends up being something. Take the fish back immediately and grill it. Ed Stafford is a little worried about the neighbors. Get yourself to the treehouse. After a while, the fish is cooked, and the bones break when you break them. Look at the flesh of the snowflake. This is the right way to open for wilderness survival. Ed Stafford doesn't know how to describe it. It's delicious anyway. If I could eat this meat every day. What's so hard about spending the last month alone? I'm going home the day after tomorrow. Don't have time to enjoy life. Ed Stafford is completely immersed in the delicious. I recommend you come and try it. Trying to survive in the wild. Tools are really important. Would rather spend more time on it. And don't waste your energy blindly looking for food. Day 9 of the challenge. I mean, I can do it without doing anything. But Ed Stafford still chooses to catch fish. For him to try every day. Unfortunately, it was a little low. The rest of the time, Ed Stafford has been really practicing throwing. Pretend that shelf is a fish. It was a lot of fun. He also upgraded the harpoon. This time we'll just catch the fish. The mood is so good. This tiger fish has very sharp teeth. Take it back for processing immediately. Ed Stafford really likes fish. The top side is really attractive to fat. You can feel the smell across the screen. Although the fish was delicious. But there are too many spines in it. Fix it. It'll make it even more enjoyable. So good. Even the bones. Ed Stafford thinks the challenge is okay. Welcome to experience it. Before you know it, the 10th day has come. Ed Stafford doesn't like this treehouse. Leave it to someone else. You don't choose your comfort zone to challenge. It's only 10 days. It wouldn't be easy for anyone else. Anyway, Ed Stafford was happy with the challenge, you know? I hope next time I can go to a more remote place. Let's look forward to Ed Stafford's next challenge.